punk rock and hardcore music means to me is it's about music for the everyman. Like anyone can do it, anyone can get out there and make music. It's about taking music back and making it for everybody. I think anyone can start a punk rock band and you tell them shit and they can still do it. They can put the same amount of passion and energy into it. So that's what I think punk rock is.
It's everything. It's the scene I grew up in, and it's about expressing yourself and standing up for what you believe in, you know. So for me it was about growing up just walking my own path, not conforming to society, not conforming to, you know, the pressures that society puts on you to, you know, get a real job, settle down and, you know, suit entire lifestyle, you know. So it's always been an outlet where you can express yourself and be with like-minded people, you know. Like punk and hardcore was always cool because as a community where you felt, you know, everyone was on the same page as you, and you didn't feel like, because you weren't the jock in high school, you know, the popular kid who could play rugby or whatever, you know. It's a community where like-minded people get together and you know, there's a bunch of different opinions and different theories, but on the end of the day we're all on the same page, I think, and that's why it's beautiful about talking about it.
We want to get up and be a bunch of girls, and people, like, when people see us, they don't expect us to sound like what we sound like, even though we're not that heavy or we're not that hardcore or whatever. But we're still doing like something a little bit different to, you know, like what people expect. And doing that, we want other girls to see that and go like, shit, I want to do that too, and I can do that.
It's aggression. It means energy. Definitely individuality. I mean, naturally it's kind of like a tribe, I guess, but both forms are. A tribe of alone as an outsider, that's why I think.
Playing on stage is awesome. It's just exhilarating. It's also, it's like a distillation of energy, and you, for half an hour or whatever, you kind of, at least on a good night, you get to forget anything that's a trouble or a complicated burden of the world or your life or whatever, and you have a you know, all those terms that we throw around, you know, expression and everything. It is exactly that. You just get, like, you know, half an hour or whatever to express yourself and just let go.
I think the culture in hardcore is rad. I think it's something I've been attracted to since I was a young guy, especially the positive aspects of hardcore. Like growing up in Tauranga, like not many of us did listen to hardcore at the time, but there's a lot of positive things about it. We listen to a lot of, you know, Christian hardcore that were like, that had something, you know, worthwhile saying. Like there's things that people needed to hear, and that's what I liked about it was, you know, the music was cool for people to listen to. Like there was skaters that listened to it, there was surfers that listened to it, there was, you know, just punk kids that listened to it, you know, and everyone could get it. And I think there's this cool thing about it is because everyone kind of becomes friends when they go to a hardcore show. Like you see someone that you wouldn't usually see at a hardcore show, and you're like, oh sick, like yeah, talk to you, and then you become friends at school or whatever. You like it did create friendships, and it probably still does. I think it's a common ground for a lot of people who don't usually see eye to eye out in the world to make friends. So my thoughts on the venues in Auckland, the ones that I've been to have been pretty sick. Like I like the Melody and Scout Hall, Lucha Lounge is pretty alright. Ellen Melville around the corner, that's heaps sick, and there's a few others that there's William Bar and Bing Dong Lounge.
bunch of friends that are kind of a similar age that kind of grew up in a similar scene with, you know, the Auckland punk scene, the local scene was fairly well integrated at one point, and friends of mine that kind of grew up in that, I kind of refer to as growing up in Hrdcore City, where someone who came through that kind of tends to have a fairly similar outlook on life, fairly similar politics, fairly similar ideas, because it came from a time when punk rock, to me anyway, meant a lot more than a style of music. It was an attitude, it was a set of politics, it was an outlook on life, it was a challenge, and with the internet coming through and kind of basically making it really accessible to a large amount of people, I think a lot of the culture and the ideas behind it got watered down, and it became a style of music rather than a counterculture or a subculture or something that means so much more, you know. For me, in the punk, it permeates everything I do, it permeates everything I think, it permeates everything I play. You know, it's an identity, it's a family, and it's a culture, you know, and so much more than 3 chords or whatever. It's punk rock city.
Whilst filming our documentary, we compared the operation of the hardcore scene as a community to the social identity theory put forward by Henry Tajfel. What we found was a group-based identity within the Auckland punk and hardcore scene that encourages inclusion among people who don't fit social norms and allows them to freely express themselves through music and politics within a community environment. The scene is created by like-minded people as a way to rebel against society's ideals in favour of carving their own paths. Those who actively participate, such as musicians, often become attracted to inspiring others within this group-based community, helping to influence and form their values and how they respond to social issues. Venues play an important part by creating a common ground between people who may not have any other connection to each other in normal society. With the advent of new media, the music and the culture has become more and more accessible, creating a larger collective identity. Punk and hardcore is more than just the music. It's a culture, it's a community, it's a family.